Some good outcome from a bad start for juveniles. A group of young people convicted on drug and alcohol-related charges have expressed remorse, but in an unexpected way. They have become agents of change by speaking against crime to students in secondary schools. Gregory Avira reports.
Youths make up close to 40% of the country's total population. While this group plays an important role in contributing to the country's progress, they are faced with a challenging issue: the increase in alcohol and drug consumption. The negative effects of consuming such substances can be seen in various forms. At the top of the list are health implications, both physical and mental.
That's quite big, you know. I think we've seen this social media and print media everywhere about, the prevalence of drug and alcohol issues. In fact, cannabis-induced or drug-induced psychosis is a second commonest admission here.
Apart from the health implications, the consumption of drug and alcohol is fast becoming a social issue. The National Youth Development Authority has noted this issue and has embarked on addressing it. Its approach to get youths themselves to speak for change. But the authority has chosen a unique youth grouping to take up this cause. Juvenile inmates, what society sees as troublemakers, for the authority, these are the drivers of change. They have undergone weeks of training on being peer educators. Now they are visiting secondary schools to speak to their peers to turn away from drugs and alcohol, an approach which the Youth Development Authority and National Capital District Commission believe can be an effective way of combating this social problem.
We've gathered the juveniles because the juveniles are the ones who have gone through the problem. They know the pain of what's in prison. That is the reason why we want them to talk to their peers, because they are in the same age category. And through that, we will make a change. We want to minimize the youth problems. Our young people are young. They are in the episode of from the transition or from childhood to adulthood. And whilst in this transition, they are prone to do silly things. And that is the reason why some of them end up in the psychiatric hospital. Some of them are now behind bars. So this is the way forward. Let's change. We can create that partnership and visit the schools and talk to young people about issues like the cult activities happening. We're talking about alcohol and drugs. We're talking about school fights. Now we want to set the benchmark. And this benchmark is about getting young people, putting them to the center of sustainable and exclusive development.
While the message from the juvenile inmates is aimed at helping their fellow youths, it also contributes to their personal rehabilitation, something which the correctional services is in support of.
Especially in the prison, whatever opportunity that comes in, we tell them to take part. That's where those have good mentality, they get involved. Especially dealing with prisoners, that's their right to choose what is good for them, to change them, what is not good for them. They make a decision. In the prison we tell them that those are opportunity and it gives you hope, so take it. I mean, most of us officers, we tell them that. So they've been listening to us, taking this opportunity. So it gives them this strength to come out and go out in the schools and all this.
For me personally, I'm feeling kind of like I'm feeling great to come out and share my testimonies to them, because since I was an ex-Sumatin, an ex-student at Sogiri National High, and I was involved in that generation group, and I was one of the victims of it. And now I'm being bars, and when coming out and share testimonies to my peers out there, it's such a privilege for me to come out, and I'm so thankful for that.
Do you think?
I think because we are saying about drugs and alcohol, and as a living example and testimony for them, I hope there'll be a big change in our in the schools and in our country and nation as a whole. There'll be some impact on students abstain from drug and alcohol, and there'll be lesser school fights and generation group, and we'll have some good outcome.
The group last week visited several secondary schools with more visits planned for this week. The awareness sessions have already drawn in interest from students, with many praising the juveniles for taking up such a cause.
For myself, I think it's pretty scary if I would speak about my own reflections on what happened. But I think they're really brave to do that, to come up and speak on what they experienced.
I think it's really inspiring that they actually put in effort to change our communities. So them bringing youths from actual youths from prison to come and talk to us, it helps us better understand the effects of alcohol and drugs that affect our youth today. So what they've done, it really, inspires me sitting there and just listening to the juveniles speak about their history, and it helps us understand that there are actual people out there that are facing problems, and these kinds of programs will help us understand what other people go through and help them to better their lives and see the good things of life and change for the betterment of our country. And because that's one of the main things that will affect us in the near future, because our youth of today are the ones that will actually lead our country, and we can't have them be smoking drugs and drinking alcohol at this stage. And then we don't want a country that's going to have leaders that have smoked in the past and are smoking today and will smoke in the future.
While the program by the Youth Authority is making good progress, it is in need of more support from the wider community. Youths are said to be the leaders of tomorrow. However, if they are not supported well, the country's future will reflect that. The proposed 2017 budget doesn't specify funding for youth programs, although allocations have been made for child protection at 3.2 million kina and significant amounts of 119.8 million kina for gender equality and women empowerment. The authority's program coordinator, Lawrence Tao, says there are numerous organizations that express concern for youth issues, but only a few are willing to support programs aimed at empowering youths.
What I'd like to extend this invitation to the non-state partners and to the concerned agencies that we need an effort by the government to help our young people. Now, the National Youth Development Authority cannot do this on their own. Our NCDC's Yumi Lookout in Mosby cannot do this on their own. We cannot work in isolation. We need to put together our ideas and then make change for the young people of this country. So we are now bringing young people to the center of sustainable and exclusive development. So we want to make sure that we're putting our young people in order to be people who will drive this country and achieve their plans and purposes.